Ready to roll?
Yeah.
All right, everyone, if I could have your attention, please. Joining us for our first media availability here at Kansas Speedway is Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford for Team Penske. Joey, first off, congratulations again on the win last week at Charlotte. Obviously, win and you're into the eliminator round, so some of the pressure is off, but you are the defending race winner of this fall race here last year, so certainly in a good position to play the spoiler for some of these other guys or something of that nature. Just talk a little bit about your approach to this weekend and if that changes at all with the win under your belt.
It makes us feel a lot better. I was sitting at the house. It was Monday night, and I was watching Race Hub. And I was like, man, this feels great. I'm like, everyone else is stressed out in this garage except us right now, and that's something to be proud of and something that we need to take advantage of. That stress will wear a lot of teams out, as we've seen. So right now, it's an important time for us to take these next 2 weeks, enjoy them. We still go out there and try to win the race. This is one of our best racetracks, maybe our best racetrack here in the last couple of years. So we want to go, keep that roll going here and try to get another win. As far as where it puts us, we're proud of that. We probably don't have to worry about Talladega, and we'll just keep pushing hard here.
And certainly that also frees you up to do some great stuff off the track. Talk a little bit about your trip down to South Carolina this week to pitch in with some of the relief efforts for the people suffering from the effects of that flooding down there.
Yeah, we drove down there yesterday morning with Jeremy and my wife and Shelly, my foundation director, and really just wanted to check it out and see what was going on. Obviously the Joey Logano Foundation's mission is second chances, and there's a lot of areas down there for people that need a second chance. After seeing it, it's always heart-touching for sure because the media only shows so much or what they want to show a lot of times, and to see it in person and talk to some of the victims. There's a lot of people that don't have flood insurance there. They weren't really expecting this. And you see what it's wiped out, and it's kind of wiped out everything they got, and then you're starting from scratch again. So the foundation donated $50,000 to 3 of the charities down there that are helping rebuild the city and helping, with some food to keep everyone, where they, at least it's not fixing everything, but at least it's helping them some. And, we visit a lot with the Salvation Army and Red Cross and United Way and seeing a lot of the work they've been doing down there. But it's incredible, not only the flooding part and what it did to a lot of people's homes, but what it did to their fresh water system and how it kind of wiped that out and the struggles that put them in there. So it's incredible. I think the important part of all this, and one of the main reasons why I went down there, is to keep awareness on what they're doing there. It seems like it's natural, but it happens to, all of us. After a couple of weeks, we forget about it, but the people that live there, they can't forget about it. Their life has changed, and, the most we can do to help them is to go down there and say hey and, and try to, like I said, keep that awareness on them, because another week or so, no one's going to talk about it anymore. They're not going to get the help that they need or deserve down there. So the least we can do is just to keep, that ball rolling down there.
Certainly an impactful trip, and I'm sure it went a long way with those folks down there. We'll go ahead and open it up to questions in the room. If you have one, please raise your hand. We'll get you a wireless mic. State your name and affiliation. We'll start right here on the left side with Mike and Jared. We'll work our way across the room. Thanks. Right
there. Mike Embry, USA Today. You are in a really big comfort zone these next couple of weeks. Your teammate, not so much. I know your priorities are 22, but how much of an assistance can you be to Brad over these next couple of weeks trying to help out there?
As much as we normally are. That doesn't really change in our situation, especially this weekend in Kansas, right? Team Penske, as you well know, we work really good together. The drivers do, teams do. We're very tight-knit. We're a great team. That's not going to change, nor will it change in the future all the way to Homestead. That'll always be there, the way we work together both on and off the racetrack. That's not going to change. So I don't see us doing much. You can't do much more. There's only so much we can do, but we'll work together the best we can. Obviously, it's our goal to have both our cars in Homestead racing for a championship. That's Roger's goal. And if he's your boss, you listen to what his goals are and you try to make those happen.
Yeah, Jared Turner, FoxSports.com. A couple things, Joey. I wanted to ask you about your sort of initial impressions with the 2016 rules package, whether or not you think it's been adequately tested. And then secondly, I wanted to just find out what your impressions are of Chris Buescher this year and what he's been able to accomplish over in the Xfinity Series.
To answer your first part of your questions there about the 2016 rules package, great. I think that's exactly what we want. I think all the drivers have always wanted less downforce on the cars. I think there's been some great tests this year as far as race conditions. Darlington, Kentucky. We've seen, I feel like, a huge improvement in racing at those two racetracks. Darlington has been a racetrack in the past that's been kind of a tough racetrack to see a great race. And this year is one of the best races we had all year, and the only thing that's different is the rules package, right? So, and a softer tire to go along with it. Heck yeah, perfect, right? What else do you need to hear? It's obviously the right direction after that. So I'm excited to see where that's going to go. It's a lot of fun for the drivers. It's a lot easier to be behind another car and be able to race them and pass them and stuff like that. So that's good. That's the right direction. I'm not against going more someday, but this is a great step to see where it takes us next year. I think it'd be a lot of fun to be a part of it. To answer your second part about Chris Buescher, obviously doing a great job over there, leading points in Xfinity. He's been he's been consistent, kind of doing his thing out there, and he's got some good drivers kind of aimed at him trying to win this championship as well, and it doesn't seem like the pressure is making him crack yet.
Okay, we'll go over here to the right side, Dustin, and then Kenny.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Joey, obviously hindsight makes it look when you look back at your situation with your move to Team Penske that everything worked out as well as possible and that everything worked in the right manner. I know being in the middle of that situation, it's hard to feel that type of comfort level. But when you look back at how you reacted, how you handled, how things have worked out, and obviously there's no guarantee it does it the same way again, how have you learned to handle challenges? How have you learned to kind of address those things and kind of grow from that situation with how strong everything has turned out when I know for a while you said that you didn't know what was going to happen?
Yeah, well, I'd say as I've gotten older and learned more about life, challenges are opportunities to do something great. And you should look forward to challenges in your life. Those are, a lot of fun. And sometimes they may not go the way you want them to. That's why it's a challenge, right? If it was easy, it wouldn't be called that. I don't know what they'd call it, but it'd be something a lot different. This whole racing's a tough sport, right? Any professional sport's a tough sport. You're going up against the best in whatever that is. If it's baseball, you're going against the best, and if it's NASCAR racing, all of us have gone through the ranks and have done what we had to do to get here, and now we're all racing against the best, and it's hard. It's not going to be easy, and it's not like you're in this sport. It seems like you're good one week, and the next week you can be completely different. So. Always pushing forward and all that. But I guess the way I've handled it as I've gotten older, I've just kind of learned that you keep your head down, you keep digging. You never quit, obviously. But I've learned to really love challenges in my life and making them an opportunity. What part of Homestead's tough? Just racing for the championship in general?
The period from Gibbs to Penske, that period. You were one of a number of guys made moves in about a two and a half year period.
Yeah.
Things worked out pretty well for them.
I guess kind of the toughest part for me, was kind of towards, most of my Cup career at Gibbs. From the beginning, not really living up to the hype. And obviously that's a challenge and trying to figure out how to be better. And then as you get a little bit closer, but then you're kind of still not where you need to be. And next thing you know, you're kind of looking for a job, and you don't know if you're going to have a job, and there's another stress that's put on you, and you say, man, am I going to race anymore? You start thinking in your mind, what's the backup on this whole thing? What else are you going to do? And I didn't have a backup. I put all my eggs in one basket to be a race car driver, so it's had to work. And I got a second shot with Team Penske, and obviously there's another challenge, right? How do you make the most out of that opportunity? I'm walking the doors as a new man, and create a new team, and obviously I had a great team already there, but to kind of plug yourself in and build it up from there, that's another challenge. That was a lot of fun, and now seeing what the reward we're getting out of all that work is fun, but it's obviously we haven't won a championship yet. Last year we came really close. This year we're on track right now, but obviously all that can change, so we can't stop now. We got to keep pushing forward.
Stay over there on the right with Kenny and then come back up to the front left.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. Joey, I would guess that it's easy to say we're not going to change our focus or our approach because you already have a win and you're going to that next round. But from your standpoint, is there a different feel not knowing whether or not you're going to advance to another round as opposed to knowing you already have that in your pocket? I mean, is there a pressure there that kind of builds as we get closer?
Oh, for sure. There's definitely a different feel. For example, we're racing like we did most of the season after we won Daytona, right? We're back to that mode. Just, that relief. You go out there, you race relaxed, you have a lot of fun, which is a lot of times is an advantage. That's the way you need to race all the time, even when those stressful situations and as you're trying to, set yourself up good for Talladega or in the next round trying to set yourself up to race for that championship. There's that pressure keeps building each round, and I think, especially this round, you look at, I think it was Kyle was second in points last year going to Talladega and didn't make it. So there's no one feels good after seeing that last year and seeing what can happen. No one feels good unless you win, and that's why we feel really good. We have to, like I said, take advantage of this opportunity we got right now. Because winning that race last weekend is the biggest win that we could have gotten at this point in the season, and it can really help boost us in the next round by being ready and not having our tongues hanging out by the time we get through Talladega. We're going to be rested and charged up and ready to rip, So, and I can't say all teams are going to be like that after going through what they're about to go through here in the next couple of weeks.
Would you do anything different at Talladega?
If I didn't have a win, I'd have to race different. Yes, I would. And it's hard to say what that right strategy is. It would depend on what your situation is going into that race. And the one thing I have learned about Talladega, though, is there's no safe place. I've been crash running second. I've been crash running 30th. So where do you go? There's nowhere good to go. So I think that's why everyone gets so stressed out about it, because it's just so much unknowns. And that's why I've been saying, and everyone's been saying, is Charlotte and Kansas could be the two most important races in this whole chase.
All right, we'll come back up here to the front left.
Couple questions. First, what clicked for you at this track? Because you hadn't finished better than 15th, and then the last 4 times you've been here, you've been top 5 every time. So, I mean, it can't be as simple as a repave, because even the first couple races after the repave, you struggled here. So what clicked finally for you here?
That's a good point. There's for some reason it's been a racetrack that's been really good for us here the last, couple years. I look at, just kind of, us being with Team Penske and kind of growing that notebook and knowing what we need to do. I think this is a racetrack that's similar to Michigan, smooth, fast, through the corners. Michigan's been a very good racetrack for our team. So what we've learned there, we can really transfer a lot of it over here. I think it fits my style, which is good. You know, I don't have to really. Some racetracks you got to go outside your box to find speed as a driver. Go outside of what you would feel natural doing to find speed in your car. For here, it's just kind of it's self-explanatory to me. It just happens. You know, as far as feeling or knowing inside the car what I have to do, and then obviously trying to look for that feel that we know we need to have. So I think once you kind of get an idea of that, then you can always work towards that in practice and be decent in the race.
And I also want to ask, growing up, did you look up to Jeff Gordon? I mean, you're one of the younger guys, and has it hit guys in the garage? I mean, after this weekend, he's down to his last 5 races. Yeah,
it's incredible, actually. Think about it. And, you know, he's been doing this for so long. And, you know, I was a huge Jeff Gordon fan when I was a kid. That was my favorite race car driver. And I think that's about every kid's my age. That was their favorite race car driver at one point, just because he was the young guy out there, right? And that's why, you know, everyone, and he was winning a ton of races, so he's easy to root for. You know, and I had all the, you know, Jeff Gordon stuff, and I had the jacket and the cars and all. I thought it was cool. And, you know, to obviously race against him, it's been incredible. You know, it's a dream come true. You know, and I'm fortunate enough to say that I've raced against him, raced him for wins and stuff like that. That's a lot of fun. And, you know, he obviously will still be around the sport a lot doing the stuff with Fox next year. But, you know, I think, you know, it's kind of hard to put into words what it's like racing against him and kind of knowing that he's coming to the end of his career. We're kind of living through a historic moment. In a way, these next few races and really this whole year, and I think everyone's realized that. Everyone's done a great job. Every time I go to the racetracks, you see 24 stuff everywhere on the racetrack or fans, and you know, on the tickets and all. You constantly see it. So I think everyone's doing a great job on you know, saluting him on his farewell tour, which is pretty cool.
All right, Joey, thank you very much for joining us here. Good luck the rest of the weekend.
Great, thanks, guys.